What's up everyone, V here, and I am back. Took a little bit of a hiatus there for a minute. I think my last vid might have been 3 or 4 weeks ago. Um, was having a few issues. Didn't have heating in my house and it got really cold. And I needed my heater on, but it was too loud to have on while, like a space heater on. It's too loud to have on during videos, and I was not recording without the heater. So I was like, you know what, I'll just hold off until then. And then I had like something going on with my mouth. Was hurting for a minute. Didn't want to record a video. Also, low key, if I can be real, didn't have the energy. Nothing was really making me want to make a video. Until this guy came in the mail. This is the Transformers Studio Series 86. It doesn't say 86 on the box, but they're doing something weird with the line that I might get into in a minute, but yeah, Megatron as he appears in the Transformers the movie. So 86. Oh, when they announced this guy, I was hyped. I was like, I need it because I've been running the for my G1 Megatron, for my like G1 collection of Transformers. I've been running the Siege Megatron, which yeah, no. When those pics were showed, I was losing my mind. I was like, this guy looks beautiful. I need it. It released and just was refusing to appear in stores near me. Every other kind of Transformers figure that released was appearing in stores but Megatron, and it was making me mad to the point where I had to drop a tad pricey of a charge online just to get it, because I was like, I just want him. I want him. So I bought him, got him in the mail 2-3 days ago. Beautiful figure. Absolutely love it. Blows that Earthrise is not even Earthrise, it's Siege. Blows the Siege out of the water. Finally have a Megatron that can square up next to this Optimus. Although not as peak. This Optimus, I don't think they're ever touching this, at least for the next couple years. That Optimus is peak. But he's still really good. Now, to get into the vaguely for a slight minute, they said going forward they're gonna make all the 86 figures. I think they said 80s. I'm pretty sure it was strictly 86 and not just stuff more streamlined in the cartoon style, kind of like how Optimus is, how the Soundwave and Thundercracker are gonna be, and they're gonna be making them. I think this is what it was. I vaguely read a post about this, but I think they're making them more streamlined, more animation accurate, which is why the past couple releases have been way more like cartoonified than previous ones, which were more like kind of Earthrise and Siege, where they're the G1 designs, but they're just like, obviously with less of the over detailing, but like this, like it's like how they've always done the G1 designs. It's like it's G1, but it's not like looks like it's right off the cartoon, versus something like this Optimus, which looks like he just stepped right out of the cartoon. And I think they said they're doing like the Optimus style moving forward, which I love, because I didn't care about the G1 figures until they started doing that. When I saw that Bumblebee and Optimus, I was losing it. So that's really cool. Problem is, there's a lot of figures that just don't match the vibe. And I'm really hoping we get a Starscream soon, because the Soundwave looks amazing. Can't wait to get that. And they announced Thundercracker, who looks amazing. But I'm like, I don't care about Thundercracker. I want Starscream. I think it's cool leading it with a different Seeker besides Starscream. That's fun and unique and breaking the mold. But also, I want Starscream. because he's like one of my favorite characters. And I kind of have like a tradition of always buying Starscream figures, even though I don't even put him in my top 3. I only bring up all that because I don't know where this Megatron lands. It's very cartoon accurate. But I've seen people discuss that this Megatron might not be considered that, and we'll get a new one down the road. Which is strange because I feel like this is a great figure. Really animation accurate. I feel like they might say that because he might have some over detailing, but he still looks great next to Prime and everything. I don't know. Anyway, I had to get that out. This is gonna be a long one, mostly because we'll see if I remember his transformation, because he is surprisingly complex for what I thought. Like, comparing it to Siege, which I'm not going to transform for the comparison because I did not even think of that until just now, and I don't care to learn how to transform him, and I've already hit record. So, yeah. But before we get into Megs, we'll take a look at the box, which is the newer Transformers design where they have the weird artwork, which I wish they kind of just took. It's like artwork of the toy. I wish they did just a shot from G1, but you know, it is what it is. Transformers hand, okay, Megatron stuff, shot, Megatron. Oh my god, I forgot to grab his accessories. Oh, good thing that reminded me. Can you tell it's been a minute since I've made a video? I completely forgot figures have accessories. Okay, but maybe I can kind of see because he is a little more over detailed compared to that shot of Megatron. But I don't know, I still feel like he's great. I don't know. Unless they somehow make a better Megatron than this. But yeah, Megatron, tank, accessories. That's about it. Bringing in Megs. Oh, beautiful. He comes with only 2 accessories because he's a Transformer, and Transformers aren't known for coming with an insane amount of accessories. There aren't no Marvel Legends, but what he comes with is cool. I want to preface this by saying I don't really know G1, and I also never seen the movie. So I don't really have a strong attachment to a lot of them besides just their designs, because they're iconic character designs. So this is an iconic design for Megatron, of course, because it's the OG design. I feel like they do it a pretty good job. First, he comes with sword. This is a sword he uses in the movie. Yeah, looks cool. You got a little purple there, got the blade there. It's got the little, like, tab there. So you could just have it come out his arm, store it on his back, and for him to hold it, he has articulated fingers, and you just slide it in there. How the hell does he hold this? There we go. You just slide it in there, hear a snap, bring the fingers around, and he's holding his goofy sword. But ain't nobody care about the sword. Nobody cares about the sword. Why would he need the sword when he has a giant gun on his arm? You know what I mean? That's going to be hard to take out. The real cool accessory is this one, because he comes with Tiny Gun Megatron. Granted, this very much does not look like a realistic gun of Megatron, but it's still gun mode-ish Megatron. You got the scope there, this extremely large silencer, then the little Decepticon logo there. Pretty cool. And again, you open his fingers, except this time, just slide it in there, bring him around, and he can hold himself. This is obviously an accessory for other characters, and not Megatron, because Megatron can't hold himself. Or I guess this version can, because this one doesn't turn into a gun. He turns into a tank. Which, I know there's a debate, a vague, small debate, between whether Megatron is a tank or a plane, since you can't do the gun legally anymore. And I prefer him as a tank. It matches just his vibe. He's got like the military helmet. He's got a giant gun on his arm. So it only makes sense that he would turn into a tank. Because realistically, that's what makes the most sense with this design besides gun is tank. Plane doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't really see him as a plane. And I prefer him as like a regular human tank versus Cybertronian plane. Because I'm gonna be real, I don't care for Cybertronian modes. I think it's cool when they turn into real life vehicles. They lose me when they turn into alien vehicle. I don't know why, but yeah. Anyway, to the figure at hand, I think this Megatron's awesome. I think he looks great. They absolutely nailed this design, and I'm gonna be so real. For the most part, aside from like this area, you can't tell he turns into a tank. Like, they did a shocking job at having like no kibble whatsoever. Like, look at that back. To bring in Siege again, because Earthrise is the same but even more egregious with the kibble. This is how they hid the treads. Both of these turn into tanks. I want to acknowledge that. Like, just look at the difference. It's insane. It is genuinely insane how well they've managed it. And I'm glad they prioritized the robot mode, because G1 Megatron robot mode is why you're buying this figure. But again, for how good the robot mode looks, I'm surprised the tank mode is as good as it is. Because again, bringing him in, just look at that, bro. That is Megatron. That head sculpt looks great. I'm glad we've moved past the days of light piping. Bold take, I hate light piping. It only looked kind of cool if you got a very specific angle. Rather than that, it looked like they have no soul. I'd much rather have painted eyes. And this looks great. You got the nice beady eyes. My lighting isn't doing it well, because the way I have lighting just dims shadows over there. But yeah, I do like the head sculpt. I know why he's got just the growling scowl. But in a perfect world, because bringing in this guy who I didn't make a video on because I was never going to transform him again, I love that little grin he's got. I love the like grinning face, and I wish there was an option for that on this guy. Maybe one day we'll get alternate faces on like mainline figures, because I do like the grin more than the scowl, because the scowl kind of looks boring and generic. The grin I think looks really cool. And I thought about if you could swap the heads. That head is way too small, and the peg hole ball is probably way too big on this. But still, coming to the chest, you got the nice clean Decepticon logo there, with the obviously like gun looking thing, and then all the little Megatron details. Sides looking red, look really cool. Got his little like skirt thingy with the little texture of the gun. I like that they've managed to try to still bring in as much detail throughout. And you could kind of pass this off as the texture for the gun a bit. Like, again, just looks so good. And again, look at that back. Look at how clean that is. Although one thing I will say is I feel like this is too small. I feel like this needs to be bigger. But you know what? That's alright. It's such a little tiny thing to complain about. One thing I will complain about, though, is the arm cannon. The arm cannon looks... Also, I hope everything was, like, in view. I got my camera lower, but Megatron is just tall enough to where it's kind of awkward. The like, I don't know, does he call it fusion cannon? It is cool, it's big, it's bulbous. It is not that deeply set into the arm. Like, I put some tape around it to thicken it up, but it is a very shallow peg. And I get why, because this transforms and also it would hit this. Although I do kind of wish they put a hole in here, because when you put it in, it does reach there, and it would hit that, which is why it's so shallow. But again, it would be cool if they put a hole there, maybe a longer peg. But again, I get why it's shallow. But again, I wish, because it is a little too loose in there, which is why I put the tape there. But beyond that, I think he looks great. They nailed G1 Megatron. Another thing is, why is this? This is a big discussion. Why is it why blue? It doesn't bother me too much, but it is like, yeah, why is it like bluish gray? I don't even think it has any fault in the robot, not in the robot mode, the tank mode either. So it's like, why are you there? But anyway, still looks pretty cool. Overall, just such a cool looking figure. And articulation wise, it's got a ball joint at the head, rotates, arm rotates, hinges out, little bit of butterfly because of the transformation, rotates there, single jointed elbow, ball joint, and then again, hinge at the fingers, and then another hinge there as well. Waist rotation, can kick forward, like that the skirt goes forward with it too, as opposed to having to like lift something up, like Prime. And the side skirts can also move up, but you can also just move them out of the way, again for transformation. Thigh rotation, knee bend, toe rocker, and because of the transformation you can get crazy foot articulation. So yeah, pretty stacked. Again, that's why I'm just like, what are they talking about, like making a new Megatron? Like, what? This one's already amazing, aside from maybe painting that black. This guy's great. Now, comparison time. How's he compare to some figures? Well, before we get into some Transformers, let's compare him to a Marvel Legends and a Black Series. Here he is next to the previous review, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Don't remember his name. Gale, something like that. And Daredevil, who will be hopefully reviewed soon. You never know with me. I might say that and either never review it, or the video comes but it's 10 months later. For some bigger boys and stolen sweethearts. Yo, write in the comments below if you know that song. Here he's next to, Master Chief, Jazzwares, and DC McFarlane Superman, outscaling both of them. And a little tease to a future review, which I am excited about, even though I am a few years late. Here he is next to the clown himself, Pennywise. The show's amazing, and I might have bought a couple Pennywise figures, and I would like to review them. Now for some Transformers fun. Here he is next to the previous Transformer I've reviewed, Scrapper. That's Scrapper, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Scrapper. I've forgotten I'm still going to try to get through all the Constructicons. I'm just missing one now, Scrapper. I'll try to make a video on all of them, and then on the combined mode. The name is escaping me, and I gotta hurry up because this video is already running a bit late, and we still have to transform them. Here he is next to the previous mentioned Optimus Prime. They just look great together. And this is why we need a new Starscream, because bringing in that Earthrise Starscream, oh, he's tiny and looks pathetic next to this Megatron. But again, look, I'm so glad we're doing the cleaner detailing, because this over-detailing, oh my god, I hated it. And finally, to bring in some Megatrons, I was gonna try to find the red Megatron. That was one of the first videos I made, and one of the first videos I made that did well on the channel. But that figure is genuinely lost to the sands of time. I don't know where it went. But here he is next to that Siege Megatron and Bumblebee movie Megatron. And finally, next to the closest G1 Megatron I've got, the third party, don't remember the company, came out around the same time he was announced. Megatron looks beautiful, but is very, very finicky. And I'm never transforming him again because it is way too complex. But he turns into a gun. But again, I love that face. Oh, I love that grin. If I could find a way to put this head on this head, put this head on this body without it looking stupid, I would. But yeah. Now then. It's time to transform him. I've transformed him a couple times. Every time has been chaotic. One time I got halfway through, forgot a step, and had to watch an MGO video. So if you're here to learn how to transform it, just watch MGO. That's what I do for. I don't even look at instructions anymore. I just go straight to MGO's just transform it videos because he gets the job done. Now we're gonna attempt to do that here. First off, you gotta remove these bad boys. Is this considered parts forming? I don't know. Also, I'm one of those. Also, you put it in here because there's a tab in there. I'm one of those guys that genuinely could care less about shell forming and parts forming. I don't care. As long as the figure's cool and looks good in both modes, I don't care. And then you want to bring this out, bring this down. We're going to bring this back in the end. Because I had a Galvatron from Age of Extinction. That was a complete shell former, but I love that figure to death. Anyway. Just love how this Megatron looks. He also feels good. He doesn't feel as great as the Optimus. This Optimus is just on another level. Because he also has, like... all of a sudden, I feel like one of his joints was slightly loose, and now when I try to demonstrate it, he's solid as a rock. Anyway, you want to make sure the fingers are curved in like that, because then you're going to open this, curve the hand in, rotate this, combine it in, and rotate that. Same on the other side. Bada bing, bada boom, bada ba, bada bam, ta-da. Then you're going to pull these out and swing these back. This joint thingy is a pain in the ass to deal with when putting him back in robot mode. But voila, we got that, and my arm is already tired, and I'm not even sure how much of that was in frame. Then you're going to unravel this, bring it out like that. Unraveling. Hey, let me know if you know that song, too. Anyway, then you got to untab this, swing this around till it, like, looks like that. Tab that in, because that'll go in there. Swing this out. Again, I'm not even sure you can see all this. And voila, this will also untab, bring that down. Bring the skirts up, bring them back. Then you're going to bring the legs up. There's a tab in there, tabs in there. There's a hole in there that tabs into there. That's how you're going to get this going. Look at that. We're already kind of somewhere. Then, going to swing this around. This is the part that I kept forgetting, but it's pretty wild. I'm not entirely sure where the tabs are. I don't know if this tab does something. But you're going to bring this up over here, and it kind of locks in somehow. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, then you got that. Look at that. We're kind of somewhere. And then, I'm forgetting. Did we flip this? No, we have not. You rotate this. Then you bring these in like this, I think. Yeah? Yeah, this is right. Look at this. Can you see the tank? Because we're kind of there. Then you're going to angle these things up, because they got tabs, because they'll tab into each other. See that tab right there, and the hole right there? You're gonna angle these in until they join together. Preferably evenly. And then, boom, look at that. Can you see the vision? Because we're getting there. My arm is tired. My arms are tired. Now to the tank. What? No, we've been going to the tank. To the legs. You're gonna bring this out. That's gonna untab. Then you're gonna swing this out. Untab this. It's gonna bring all this out. Wait, no, not yet. You're gonna open this. Swing this out. Bring that back in. Gonna do it on both sides. And then all of a sudden we've got like 90% of a tank. So you're gonna bring this up. Bada boom. Same thing on the other side. My arm is running out of energy right now. Dear God. Oh my God, I'm going out. I'm weak as hell. Oh my God, Jesus Christ. Who, gotta hit the gym. This is tragic. Why is the Transformer taking me out? Then we've got this, which could be your jet mode if you so incline. There's your third mode right there. Triple Changers kill themselves. I hate this figure. He turns into 2 Cybertronian modes. I mean, I like him as a robot, but the 2 Cybertronian modes, evil work. Anyway, got tab there, tab there, tab there. This goes into there. This goes into there. This will go into there. But you really only need to make sure you get that one in, and the rest will just follow suit. Beautiful. Bring it in, tab that in, and they will all just follow suit. And look at that. We actually have a tank going. This is a little weird. You're going to bring this in. There's tab there. It's going to go into there. And you might have to, just going to have to angle that up. You might have to bring this up a bit, but it's going to get in there. Don't pinch your finger when you try to do this, like I almost just did. Then it's in there. Bring these up. You want to bend the toe down. Gonna curve these down. And look at that. We're basically there. And remember that gun we had right there? It's got tab there and there. Those tab into there. And then you bring it on like that. They tab in. And there, ladies and gentlemen, is the tank mode. Look at that. Look at that. It's actually not that bad. It's not perfect, because you're like, there's some gappage, and you're like, what the hell is this? But the fact that they took that phenomenal looking Megatron, that didn't even look like it transformed in the slightest, took it, turned it into a tank, and turned it into a tank which doesn't even look that bad. He's got some nice tank detail there. Looks really cool. Got some wheels. Got wheel there, wheel there, wheel there. Rolls decently. You actually get a decent rotation and a slight up if you are so inclined, but I'm pretty sure it's just to be rotated. And like, again, not perfect, but going off of nothing on G1, I feel like they cooked up a pretty good tank. Like, that's good. And again, tank mode is secondary to the robot mode. I mean, in all of my opinions, the vehicle mode is second to the robot mode. I'm here for the robot. I don't care about the vehicle as much. Still care about the vehicle, but I would rather the vehicle get sacrificed than the robot. And to have such a G1 accurate, beautifully proportioned, no kibble robot mode like that, for a tank mode this good, honestly, mastical? I was going to say magical, and I think mystical. Mystical, magical. Moonbeam ice cream. Hey, let me know in the comments if you know that song. Oh, okay. It's dawned on me I've not grabbed a single figure to turn into a vehicle mode. So, we're going to compare him to a not Studio Series 86 figure. This figure is not that at all, but he's the only one within arm's reach that is in its vehicle mode. And it's in its vehicle mode because, dear God, I'm never going to transform him again. And it's the Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, or first movie, Bumblebee Camaro. Look at that. That's your scale. And if you want to know, here he is next to just Optimus Prime standing, because I wanted to record another video after this, but it's running a bit late, and we still need to put him in his robot mode, and we're at 30 minutes. So I'm going to try to wrap it up real quick. I'm going to transform him back into his robot mode while trying to give final thoughts. I always say that, and then I always fumble. But yeah, oh, come on. I really like this Megatron. I think he's really cool and really awesome. I don't know the genuine consensus of the fan base's opinion on this Megatron. I just knew that he looked really cool, and I'm really happy with him. I think he's great. I definitely think he's worth it. I did pay a pretty penny for him. I did pay like $85 for him because I couldn't find him in store, and I think that's a bit egregious. But that's just the way life is now. Figures are hella expensive, but then at the same time they're getting more expensive, but they're also getting better. Cause again, like, I know the prices suck, but like, it's not like you're dropping like. Cause it's like they're starting to match import figures now. I feel like a lot of like some of these studio series, they're genuinely looking like tiny masterpiece figures, like that Optimus, and honestly kind of this Megatron, and that Thundercracker looked amazing. Like, they're matching like those higher end figures vibes for a cheaper price. So I can't be mad because the quality is still there. Like, this is a really solid figure. But again, also, I don't want to drop no $100 on this thing. But yeah, I still think he's worth it. If you can find him in store, he's worth it. 100%. I think he's such a fun figure. But you know, is this correct? Is this correct? It is not correct. We want to have that rotated like this. Yes? No. Oh my god, it was right the first time. This arm area is where it's going to get a little messy. This is where I'll chime back in, because you're going to need to rotate this in, but you want this to be facing this way. So you just gotta keep turning it until you get it in there, and that's the easiest I've ever done it. Oh my god, what? It's like when you try to... Oh my god, they both went in perfectly easy. Okay, it's when you want to explain something that's hard. Like, oh, this is such a difficult thing. And then suddenly it goes in perfectly. Okay. But yeah. What was I don't even remember what I was saying. But yeah, really fun figure. I definitely do like him. Is he perfect? No. But honestly, again, I can't think of much that they could do to like vastly improve this design. I think he's not as good as Prime, because I don't think that Prime figure's ever getting touched by how peak it is. But this Megatron is still really good, and I really am happy with him. I think he's a solid guy, and washes that any of those War for Cybertron trilogy Megs out of the water. And look at him, he looks so good. So that's trying to grab the box. That's my thoughts on the Studio Series 86 ? Megatron. I think he's definitely worth it. For the price is a bit steep, but still a really fun figure, and I'm definitely happy I got it. Long time waiting, and I am thoroughly happy with it. Transformation's a little finicky, but once you get in the flow, it's pretty good. Sometimes though, when you're doing like the calf part, those ends that fold out kind of pop off. They didn't this time, which was nice. Because again, every single problem I have with the transformation just decided to be magically smooth while I'm recording the video. But you know what? I love him. I think he's great. And again, just bring in the previous offering. Oh, don't even look like they're made by the same company. Again, he's not the perfect comparison. The Earthrise one would be. But again, that Earthrise one, the kibble was even worse. And then compared to this guy whose back looks like that. Oh, great. I love him so much. And then you get him next to this amazing Prime. Get him facing off. This is the best pose you're going to get out of me. I'm not a good poser. Like, oh, they look so good together. They look so good. Definitely worth it in my opinion. Anyway. Like, subscribe, check out my previous reviews. I'm going to try to upload more. But again, you never know with me. I am back in the vibe of wanting to actually record videos. We'll see in a couple weeks. But yeah, I just had a lot going on. The heat problem, and like some cut in my mouth is really hurting. And then just a lot of stuff. Work, life, a lot of stuff. Was gonna share, but I feel like Transformers Megatron review is not the place to drop the wonders of life upon you. But you know what? I'll leave you with this. I got nothing. Yeah, hopefully you have a wonderful day. And hopefully you have heat in these colder times. And yeah. Peace.